Well, let's see what else we can talk about what we have been building here at the Reed Ranch. This last weekend we had a big shindig here, and as you can see from the ground, the kids really had a good time here on that zip line. I told you about that on one of the last other videos. And then we talked about building a horse, world's largest rocking horse. And there's the other zip line. Now I think we're going to talk about this. This is a Kiiking swing, or Kiiking, Kiiking. Got the idea off YouTube. It's big in Europe. They have competitions and stuff like that. We have they got one on there. You look it up. It's yellow in color. Now the axle here on this one is 9 feet off the ground. That's the pivot point. And they got a yellow one there on YouTube, and it's got to be 25 feet off the ground. So when you go up, your ankles are 50 feet in the air. Anyway, what this does. All right, see what's going on here now? See how she pivots? I made the platform. This doesn't use chain, of course. Use bar or something. I'm a big believer in box tube. It's easier to work with. Now what I use down here to keep you from dying in a crash, these are the shoes that the guys use, people use for doing upside down chin-ups in the doorway at your house. You know what I'm saying? Now I made the little brackets that go through the back here. Made it so you can tighten it down and adjust it to the height of the, pardon me for a minute while I get this going here. Bad spot. Okay, you see what I done there? Got a slot. This is welded not only in it, it goes through. You want to do that for things that are going to be really important. You cut a hole, you poke it through, all the way through, weld it here, and then you weld it again underneath. It only needs to stick through about a little bit. You got to be a terrible welder to make that not work. But see here you can see how this works. And I just showed you this tightens down. These I happen to have these. These are aircraft grade bolts. I'm thinking if a human's hanging on them, it wouldn't be a bad idea. But you know how this works, okay? You get up in here, you put your foot in here, you latch it all in and everything. It's got a safety pin. You got to latch it in, and I have to. And then I built the. Some you'll see don't have this on YouTube. They don't have none of this. You just stand on a little platform, and then they'll have, instead of like these handlebars, they'll have a pole, and you get a little T-bar or something to hang on to. I don't know. I kind of like this setup here. It's a total different sensation when you're standing on that. And of course I have not went around and around on that thing. Are you nuts? So here's Kiiking swing, step up. You must clamp in, hang on, and swing all the way around. Okay? And here is our list of, Josh was the first one to do 1 revolution. Then a fellow named Zach. Then a fellow named Kevin. Then Josh again, and Josh again. Well, today is Tuesday. Sunday we had our little party here, and a 12-year-old girl named Lexi. She did 106. I got it right, and I got the paint marker in my pocket right now. She did 106 revolutions. Went in, had a bite to eat, and came back out and did 120. So I have to write her name on here. Sorry, I don't have it. Let me hang on here a second. I might do this right here in front of God and everybody. It rained last night, so let's just do this, okay? Okay, beat that, bad boys. Lexi, 120. So there, build yourself a Kiiking swing. Now when I got it done, of course these are concreted in the ground. There's a, I don't know, probably a bag and a half. You can make this out of wood. This would be alright out of like a good 4x4s. It doesn't have to be metal. I went, I think, about 30 inches deep, you know, 10 inches in diameter, and put them in there. They do need to be dead nuts level across the top, okay? Because your axle. Now when I got this in, you'll notice, if you pay real close attention, that pillow block bearing up there is spaced up a little bit, not this one here. And I'm a big believer in pillow block bearings. They're cheap. Get a pair of them there like that. I think those are 1.5 inches. I got those off eBay, I think delivered to the house for like $18 for the pair. And you just put them in there, tighten the collars down, and give them a shot of grease once a year. That's what I did, and they last forever and ever, amen. But anyway, the kids really, really have a good time on this. This is a big hit. There was somebody swinging on this thing. If they weren't on the zip lines, they were doing this. And no, I'm not going to demonstrate it for you. But it's a lot of fun. When I put it in the ground, we lived in sand in the ground and concrete around it and everything, and they would get going and it would wiggle it back and forth a little bit, you know, at the bottom. So that's why I put these guide wires on here. And all I did here was I drilled down like one postal digger hole about 30 inches or so again, but then I made a big bell at the top, you know, like with a shovel, a foot down, and I ran a rebar down through it, and I welded to the rebar this little piece of metal here that hooks into your turnbuckle. And don't forget, when you do your turnbuckle, when you do your cable clamp, you don't clamp the dead horse. Remember, the saddle goes on here. But these are back woven. Actually, I ain't going to explain, but it's all this comes and you split it open and you make it go back around in itself and you weave it back together. That's how cables or chokers are made. So there's nothing there to slip loose. But anyway, it's real sturdy, and the kids had a lot of fun. What do you think, Marilyn? How about you, Opie? My girls. So anyway, there you go. There's the next installment from here at the Reed Ranch. We had a lot of people. We had about 60 people here last week and had a real good time. People were on the Ferris wheel and going down the slide and the lunch launcher and having a good time at the bonfire. And we had music, merriment, and dance. You know how it goes. So, okay. Till next time, alright? Build yourself a Kiiking swing in the backyard. You can make it out of wood. It'll be alright. I don't know what all you'd be able to make the wood out of the swing part, but the uprights would be okay out of wood. You just got to use a metal axle, and I would definitely suggest making a swing out of wood. But yeah, the deal with the shoes, or whatever the heck you call them, you know, those are like $20, $25 on eBay. Okay, and I take them in the winter. It gets cold here in northwest Indiana in the wintertime. Alright, cool. Alright, till next time, guys. Till next week or something, I dig up another one. I got more projects going and been done, so I'm just sharing. Enjoy. Thanks a lot. Bye.